I was always really ambitious. I was like, I'm going to be this. And I think
what
being
were
the
you going to
younger
be?
brother.
What,
So when I was
what
young,
did you exclaim?
I had so many things. Like I always want. I was good at. I was always good at sport. And when I was young, like I just wanted to be a professional athlete in some way, but I didn't know what. And so I remember saying to my brother Ollie, I was like, I'm going to be a professional sportsman when I was like 7.
Yeah.
He was like, in what? I was like, I don't know.
Something.
Yeah. And the 2 sports that like I was trying to do, tennis I was good at.
Okay.
I was never that good. No. But I was good.
We can say you were good.
I was good. I was all right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't good enough. And I didn't want it enough either. But tennis was one of them. And then skiing randomly, because I was, a privileged young kid. I used to be able to, I went skiing from a young age, and I was a good skier. And I raced like nationally and did and competed for a while, and then wanted to get into extreme skiing randomly.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Like doing tricks. And again, another good story. My brother, when I told him this, he showed me a magazine of this guy called Pat Sharples, who was like quite a well-known extreme skier at the time for the UK and was getting recognised in the European circuit. And there was an article in this like extreme ski magazine, and my brother gave it to me, and he was like, look, his email address is there. Email him. He used to race for the same team as you. Tell him what you want to do. And I was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like 14 probably at the time, 13. And I was like, no, I can't. Like, that's embarrassing. And he was like, no, do it. And he was really good, like really great at like pushing me. I was like, okay. So I emailed him, and he got back to me, and he was like, let me know when you're out here, and like we'll go skiing together. And
that's amazing.
And we did. And like he organised like a shoot.
That's really cool.
And yeah, it was cool. It kind of showed me that like, and my brother did. He really like helped. He was always good at being like, you can do what you want to do. Like do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it kind of showed me that, the world is my oyster. Like I can go and do things if I really wanted that. I mean, he was like, look, Pat Sharples was like, you can do this. I was a young kid. He was like, if you want to do this, you can do this. But I came out here and like scrapped my GCSEs and lived in like a lift for a few months. And he was like, if you want to do, just to like and was working in a bar. And I was like, I think I want to do my GCSEs. So yeah, that dream moved on.
Yeah.
But I did work like abroad doing a ski season when I was after school. But from a young age, I knew that I wanted to work as a storyteller, but I didn't know how. Like I wanted to either be an actor or like a kind of filmmaker, director. And I kind of knew that from about 14, 15.
Okay. And how did that even like come about? Like obviously you had this interest in sports, but where did that idea of acting come about?
The 2 things that I really I did well in at school was drama and sport, PE. And I wasn't very academic, and I was a little bit dyslexic, but I didn't know it at the time. And I was quite kind of, I actually tried to avoid it. I didn't, clearly I was neurodiverse, and it wasn't bad, but I just thought that I maybe wasn't very smart and kind of wasn't, actually my school was really good at giving help for that. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I persuaded them that I wasn't dyslexic, and they put me in a normal like mainstream class.
Yeah.
And it was only until later on when I was at drama school, they were like, we think you might be dyslexic because of my sight reading. And I did a test and it came through that I was, but I kind of struggled at school. But the things that I always got, because I thought I wasn't academic necessarily, was drama and PE or sport and also writing. And I remember writing like short plays, and they kind of got picked up at school. And so it was always something that I just did and could do and kind of create. I even remember doing like a careers talk, and they filmed you, and I was very nervous, and he was like, who's your favorite director? Because I said obviously I wanted to work in film, and I was like, and I'd just seen Saving Private Ryan, and I was like, Steven Spielberg, and I didn't say his name right. And then the video itself got shipped around. Like people, classmates got the video and
Oh
they
my
watched
God,
it and they
yeah.
were taking the piss and they were like, "Oh, Steven Spielberg." And I was but
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
I kind of always knew. Well, I always thought I wanted to work in that area, but I just had no idea how or why.
Yeah.
And acting became the first lens into storytelling, and I got a bit. I got kind of appraisal from that, and knew that that was something I could do. So yeah, that was sort of the line I took first.
Interesting. And before we move into your kind of schooling and stuff, I'm curious if stories were a big part of your childhood and your growing up. Like, were you told stories? Were you read to? At what point did stories become like what you wanted to create?
So interestingly, and my my mum would probably hate this if I said this, but I wasn't really read to a lot from what I remember. I don't remember, like, I remember making up games and but I didn't really remember doing much reading. And as a kid, I didn't love reading. And it was only in my teens I started to really enjoy reading, and I started to read more.
Yeah.
And then it became like something I just did. And I think I got put off it because I was a slow reader. And you sort of get told, like, you're not good at this. So I sort of assumed that maybe I wasn't. But then when I discovered I loved books, and like, it doesn't matter how long it takes you, I'm always reading. And it's since I was about 16. I remember reading the Harry Potter books. And yeah, like, I don't know what it was. I think when I discovered that I loved writing, and just like, it just sort of was something I could do. And stories became, I guess theatre was the way in. Like, I always read plays, right? And doing drama, going to act. So theatre was like my way into stories. And then, just reading became like a hobby that I loved. And so, yeah,